Oh boy, do I have something special for you. Something special indeed. Railroads online. I'm up here in the supervisor's office here. Oh, I locked myself out again. God dang it. Well, I'll just jump off the railing here. All right, here we go. Boink. All right, let's check this out. Where am I? What am I doing up here? Well, of course, it looks like your normal run-of-the-mill lumber camp. But this is a little different. This is Camp 1. Camp 1, baby. But why is it so special? Because this is not your ordinary camp. There is something really, really special about this place. Let's see, we got all our parts car here in this old box car. Let's see, can we go inside that? Oh, we can. Oh, hello. Okay, just back out of there. There you go. All right. Yeah, so we got the old parts car over here. We got some rail because, you know, we got to constantly bring in new rails to make more lumber railroads. We have an oil car here because all those saws need oil and all that. Well, wait a minute. What's all these signs? Stop, car brakes, 10%, no engines. Stop? Well, there's got to be something special about this place. Let's take a look. Just jump. Hoist house. Hoist house. What's a hoist house? Well, that's a mystery for sure. Wait a minute. What's going on over here? Danger? Telegraph office here. Incline? 23%? You gotta be kidding me. This is an incline railroad? Well, it sure is. And you might be saying, that's crazy. Nothing like that has ever existed. Well, you would be wrong. Because incline railroads were a major part of narrow gauge history. They would actually take and run these cars down these hills. So, yeah, let's take a quick tour of the Incline Railroad. Now, this one is 23%. And the Yosemite Valley did have a 23% incline. But they also had, dig this, a 66%, and their biggest one was 78%. It was built in 1906 and up in the Sierras of California. And there was a fellow that would monitor halfway down called Jimmy Mullins. And he sat in a little booth exactly like the size of our telegraph booth, just like that. And there's a historic black and white photo of Jimmy Mullins sitting in the window next to the incline track, which was much steeper than this one. So this is a big piece of narrow gauge history, and it goes all the way down to the receiving there at the end. So it's kind of halfway. So let's show you how we actually can operate this on this railroad. Okay, so what they would do is they would bring the cars down here one by one, and we're going to do just that. Are you ready? This is kind of exciting. So let's come in here and let's back up the Shay. Here we go. Reverser. Oops, wrong way. Reverser, regulator, brake. 3 tabs. All right, there we go. Full speed here. I don't want to get going too fast. Too much momentum. Because we don't want to send the engine down. I hope everything's attached because you don't want to run away from this train. All right, so how they did it back in the day. Oops, stop. All right, stop right here. Okay, setting the car brakes to 10%. Am I drifting? No. Okay. Got to make sure everything's safe. Okay. So what they did is they would come down here and they would hook up a safety chain to the first car here. Now, what I need to do is, as you saw the sign say, it says set brake to 10%. They would hook up a safety chain to here, and they would hook up the hoist chain. Once the hoist chain was ready to go, they would push the car over the side, and away she goes. All right, so we don't have all the graphics here, of course. Ooh, I'm riding. There would be a hoist here with a cable, and the cable would attach to the end of the coupler here right on top. And there it goes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Off she goes. All right, should we follow it all the way down? Let's do one more. Okay. So yeah, they would bring the cars all the way down here and they would do the hookup here. But again, they would do 10%, or I do 10% on Railroads Online. And it took a lot of testing for me to make this actually work. But as you guys know, I'm kind of a model railroader, and I love Railroads Online because I can do anything I want like this, something crazy too. So here we go. We'll follow this car down. So yeah, here's where they would actually do the hookup, with the safety chains and everything. Now, not only do they bring loaded cars down, but they also bring down, or they bring up empties. And yeah, it gets going pretty good here. Now, in the real one, it would be on a cable, and it wouldn't be going this fast at all. Because Jimmy here would make a telephone call. That's why I have the telephone lines up there. He didn't have a cell phone or anything. He just had a telephone, and he would call the hoist house and say, hey, something's wrong. So, yeah, that car is just free flowing all the way down. Let's go. See, and I put these wheels here to kind of symbolize where the cable car would be. Now, here's a track that receives the empties and the loaded cars. And with that 10% brake coming down this end of this hill here, it's just enough. It's just enough to come to a spot, and I have it where it just, look at this, nice and soft, and it rolls forward, usually to here, to these 4 posts. And then down here is a class 125, which is in a dangerous location. Normally it would be on the side track, but for the video, I decided to just put it there. For safety, it would be on the side track, because if we had a runaway, that would be really bad. So all the way up. Okay, now this time, instead of doing car by car, what I'm going to do is we have 4 cars left. So we're going to set each brake to 10%. And we'll send the whole thing. So 10% there. Each brake has got to be set to 10. So, and then 10. And then I'll talk to you a little bit about more operations of how I do this. Because there's a magic way, and then there's kind of a cheat. Because, I got to deal with the game. So, all right. So let's... No, I don't have to do anything with the engine. It's at its limit point. All I have to do is uncouple it. And away she goes. I might have to give it a little push here. Yeah, probably a little push. It's not all the way. So a little bit of a push. That's all it needed. Just a little bit of encouragement. Make sure the engine is safe. Yep, it is. Should we ride this one down? Oh, why not? Ah! All right, here we go. Hope you guys like my videos. I hope they're fun. that like and subscribe if you do, because I work really hard. Look at all the effort I put in this. I think I got like 1,400 hours. Oh, here we go. Whoa! Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it took a lot of testing to make this work, and I had to find the right hill to put it on to make it work. Now there is some historic YouTube videos about the Yosemite Incline railways, and one of them is by a guy called PSG Multimedia. Just type Yosemite Lumber Company logging or inclines in YouTube, and you will not believe how awesome and how scary and how crazy incline logging actually was. It's it's unreal. But see, look at this. I just with 10%. Oh, oh, good job. Woo! Oh, don't fall between the cars. That's really dangerous. All right, so yeah, oink. We've attached onto that one. Like I said, they usually come to a stop sometimes right about here at the four. All right. Yeah, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we just take the 125 and board it. And let's back off, back up, and hook them up. Incline lumber, incline number 1. But the real name was Yosemite Valley Railroad that actually did that at the time. I think I got a tender brake on. Click. Yep, let's check that tender brake. Oh yeah, 100%. All right, so there it is. And away we go. All right, got the reverser, go forward, turn the lights on. And there we go. Then we take this down to Westlake. This is the Y up by the farm here, the wheat farm. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that little layer, just get that out of the way for now. But you can picture it taking off, running on its own. And then down here we have a little switcher. And then what the switcher would do, doesn't take much, is the switcher would come in, come on back, use the map here. Now we come into the siding, and we pick up the loaded cars, which is on the second. Now we would pick up the empties. Okay, see if I got that right, I hope. Looks right. There we go. So we come in and pick up the empties. Now, they have some very interesting track plans that you can't really replicate in Railroads Online. It's done a little bit differently than because they actually have some spring switches, and they got a little more complexities. And also, they were restricted in space for the valley because they were actually dealing with a valley. I didn't have the valley, so I was able just to run this straight out. What we would do is we would pull out all these empties here, get them out from the track. We put it in near the hoist house here, down at the bottom. Okay, and again, we have a limit line for the engine, so the engine stops here. Engine stops there due to safety and so forth. All right, we get out. Now, what they would do on the incline is they would hook up the wheel, or the wheel. They would hook up the cable to the coupler here on top. They would uncouple. That's weird. They would uncouple the car and then they would hoist it up. It would be hoisted all the way up, empty, one by one, all the way up. And they would do box cars sometimes because they needed supplies. They would bring rails up. They would bring up lumber because, they had to put ties up there. And then they had a special oil car. So those oil cars actually had to come up. Now, what they don't have in railroads online, and then they would hook onto it here with the switcher up here, release the safety cables, and then this switcher would pull it away. Okay. But what they don't have online on railroads online is the special narrow gauge cars that they used on the inclines. Because the train would go up the hill, the dome that is right there. Oh, I hate when people do that. And here I am doing it. The dome that is right there would be located at the front of the engine here because all the liquid would go down to the bottom when it goes up. So it was kind of a lopsided. Additionally, all the logging cars had a bulkhead on one side, on the downhill side, that would hold all of the logs. So there would be not a double bulkhead, but just a single bulkhead right here, and that bulkhead would hold the logs from going down. They had a special way of tying them. So because of railroads online, the only way I can do this is to manually hoist them up here by flying them up. Okay, that's the only way I can replicate that, to make it as realistic as possible. So, boom. So I would do that one by one, use the engine. Luckily, the brakes are applied when they first do that. Uh, so I would have to do that 6 times for every car to lift them up. So I was doing that for a couple of days, and then I thought, well, I'm going to cheat. And the cheat was kind of interesting thing to do. The cheat was uh, creating a back road. Now, normally in the incline railway, this went into the higher country, so it went even higher up, and they would bring the logs from higher country down a 20% incline and then a 4,000 foot 78% incline to the incline. So there was multiple inclines that they would do. So this was my idea of providing the logs from the high country, except what I did is I made a back entry, which is a 10% frickin' grade all the way down here. It's 10%. And a class 125 with 6 empty logging cars holds this with no sweat coming all the way down this 10% grade. Yeah, it's almost like its own like little incline really. But like I said, I'm a guy that doesn't use big bridges, but in this case, okay, fine. I'll use a big bridge. Because this is my cheat. This is the backstage. Nothing to see here. Move along, move along. Okay, so this was just because I got tired of flying back and forth. I would just put the C-125 with a bunch of empties on there and run that back. Um, I tried it with the Ruby Basin, and that's a no-go, folks. That was a no-go. So yeah, that was my way of just bringing the cars all the way back to the top of the incline. We got to say hi to good old Jimmy here, and then bringing him all the way back to the top of the incline here, fly through the house. And the real one had like a shed like this too, but they had a much bigger hoist house. And they even used steam donkeys back there, which, man, I'd love to have steam donkeys. Uh, have some steam donkeys in this. So many things I want to add to this game, guys. So many things I want to add. I hope over the years we can keep convincing the developers to add more stuff in here. But yep, here we go. The brakes are on these cars, which is a good thing. Um, because yeah, we don't want them going down. I've had some pretty horrific crashes. Uh, so the danger signs are real. Danger signs are definitely real. But let's see, reverse or forwards, forward. Uh, there we go. Stop here. Load them up. You know what? I, there is a in the real uh Yosemite Valley incline, they did have a boxcar on the ground that they had. And so I tried it with Railroads Online and I deleted the track underneath and then it just dropped the car. But every time you loaded the game, it would bounce around and it would move. So by leaving a piece of track here, it's remained pretty solid on the inside here. Decorate it, put some chairs in there or something. All right, let's do this one last time. Let's come in here and put the cars at 10% and 10%. I could probably just do a shove from here. Let's see, uncouple, uncouple. Yep. All right, let's give it a shove. Oops, not that way. That would have been bad. All right, hit the brake. Bye. Yeah, the oil care operations were really interesting how they did that too. They had their own siding just for the oil train operation. Oh, let's recreate history. Let's go down to Jimmy's place. Let let's just recreate history. Yeah, let's pretend we're Jimmy inside. We we can see what Jimmy used to see. There we are. Yeah, that's what Jimmy would see. Except, of course, not going that fast because they were under a cable. And there's videos of it. There's videos of it, or movies. There we go. Oh, what a shot. Railroads Online, recreating history right here on the Yosemite Valley Incline Railway. Oh, come on, you gotta give me a like for this one. Come on. They're free. All right, here we go. Yeah, like I said, I've had some pretty horrendous crashes developing this thing. I should have made a bloopers video, but that's how it was. That's the real deal right there. That's in Railroads Online. Yosemite Valley Incline Railroads. Logging did lots of weird stuff. There were so many weird things for loggers that did that. So there you go. That's how it works. We would take this all the. Oh, where'd my boy go? Oh, he's already down the hill because I didn't put full brakes on him. He'll be fine. And my big city, big town off in the distance there. All right, kind of a short video here. Hope you enjoyed it. And someday I'll make this incline railroad available. But again, look at the history of it. I'll put the link in the description of the video that inspired me to make this layout. All right, all aboard, and I'll see you later.